Welcome to 30-minute review. I'm Adam.
I'm Peter. Today is a solo show. It's just Peter.
Okay. It's like that Chipotle commercial where it's like, I'm an only child if you don't count my sister.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
um.
Today
So
Adam's just doing backup, like
yeah,
tech backup.
I'm
So
not
I
doing
just need to
back.
call it.
I'm
It's
not
just me
doing
the whole
backup vocals the entire time.
time.
Um. So we do have. It's gonna be a light show this week, though. I do have. We don't have any segments after the review, and it's just a few stories. It's been a light news week though, because everyone's ramping up to E3. Um.
Woo.
So I don't know if like the movie industry like recognizes E3 for its significance to the video game industry, or if it's just there's nothing to really talk about.
Probably
Um,
the latter.
because like we're getting into the summer blockbuster season, and now we only have a few things that really happen. Number one, obviously, um, Wonder Woman had its early reactions from early screenings because the social media embargo was lifted. You want to hear some of these tweets?
Ugh. Oh, are they from real movie reviewers?
These are they're all verified accounts.
Okay.
Well, Slash Film is one of them.
Okay.
So let's see. So we have Terry Schwartz is the first one. I can finally share my thoughts on Wonder Woman. I really loved it. It's not perfect, but its charms won me over. Gal Gadot is wonderful. Um,
I was excited for Robin Wright more than anything.
Alicia Garuso. All right, whatever. Let's cider psychopaths rage. Bottom line, the Wonder Woman's a great time. Gal Gadot is awesome. Patty Jenkins is the bomb. That's not me ad libbing. That's literally what she tweeted.
That's
Um,
how you can tell she's a real movie reviewer.
Also, did you do you want to know something weird about? Have you watched The British Office?
Yeah,
Did you know that the Pam character on The British Office is the one playing Etta Candy?
I did not.
Yep, that's that's who that is. I thought I recognized her from somewhere, and that's where she. I think her name was Jane on The British Office. Um,
Are all the women on the island of Wonder Woman as strong, like as Wonder Woman?
I think so. I think it's like
Yeah.
a Thor kind of thing where it's like they're all kind of super compared to humans.
But she's like the only one that ventures out.
Yeah. Um, Angie J. Han says Wonder Woman is the ray of light the DCEU has been waiting for. Gal Gadot just owns it. Um, Adam B. Vary says happy, no, relieved to report that Wonder Woman is truly good, funny, stirring, kick-ass, romantic, a solid, entertaining superhero film. Peter Secreta, I think I pronounced that wrong. I apologize. The guy from Slash Film. I can finally tell you, Wonder Woman's a very good film. Funnier, more action-packed than you're probably expecting. Gal is perfect as Wonder Woman. Alicia Lutes says, without hesitation, Wonder Woman's the best thing DC Warner Bros. Has done. Like, come on, duh,
Ever.
doy, Britta. I understand what that means. I think she had a stroke at the end of that. Um, and the last one, Alana Bennett. I'd say the superhero movie it most reminds me of the first Captain America movie. If you're looking for a frame of reference, TLDR
Yeah.
Patty
Uh,
TLDR Patty Jenkins did a real good job. There's no contest between Wonder Woman and the other DC EU movies. It wins hands down. So I guess that's good. I mean, um, what are your thoughts about that?
I just pumped for Robin Wright. So
I'm not one of those people who's like they should have cast someone who was more bulked up for Wonder Woman. So that was actually a thing people were upset about. But I'd like
she
to read
wasn't
you.
muscly.
I'd like to read you some what's it called? Uh, some other early reactions for another movie. If we want to take a minute to like keep our expectations in line, I guess would be the best way to put this. I
What's the
haven't
other
felt
movie?
this giddy after watching a movie since the Avengers. Goosebumps everywhere. Need to talk about it ASAP.
Is this for Guardians of the Galaxy too?
Nope.
Oh,
I can
okay.
confirm the largest surprise applause of the night at the premiere was the entrance of Wonder Woman.
Oh, okay. This is still Wonder Woman.
Nope, this is Batman v Superman.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if we're gonna like want to keep our expectations in line because early reactions are always people who want to be at the movie,
Yeah.
and so that's the thing. You have to take these with a grain of salt. They're not. It's not audience reaction. It's people with a It's people with like something to gain from doing
Yeah. And you have
it. So
this weird subset of fans that like are hoping the DC movies are horrible.
I don't understand that. I just want to see a
I
good
like
movie. Like
they like get satisfaction about like ripping apart the DC movies and hoping they fail. And it's like, why do you care? Like
like
these aren't going just you don't have to like them and like you can say, oh, I didn't like this movie, but like why do you care so much either? And the same with the people that defend them to like they cry. It's like who cares?
yeah,
Like this movie does not
it's a
care.
movie.
If
Like
Warner Brothers doesn't care what your opinion is.
exactly. Like they have your money. Like that's the extent of where this relationship ends. They have your money. Um so do you remember last year when Terminator Genesis came out? And right before the movie came out, there was a trailer that spoiled the major plot twist in the movie.
Wait, what movie? Sorry.
Terminator Genesis.
No.
I think the if I remember correctly, the plot twist was I think it was Kyle Reese was part Terminator. I never watched the movie. I never watched the trailer. I just remember there being an outcry that they showed this.
Definitely fucked it.
Um, I think it was just they realized like you know what people aren't going to see this movie anyway. Why don't we see if we can come up with a way to get people to see it by spoiling the twist? That way they say, oh, that's kind of interesting. Let's see what happens to get up to that point. Because really, that's the only thing from a marketing standpoint that makes sense to me. But the reason I bring that up, another movie pulled that this year, but it's to a lesser extent. Um, as we all know, The Mummy is coming out this
The
year.
Tom Cruise mummy.
Tom Cruise Mummy, and it's set to set off a universe of monster movies. Um,
Cool.
and they're really laying it on thick with this. It has been announced via trailer that Russell Crowe's character. You know who Russell Crowe is playing?
Oh, Dr. Jekyll.
Yep, Dr. Jekyll.
I just went to the IMDb page.
Yep, he's playing
That's
Dr.
pretty.
Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
I assume so.
Yeah. Well, they also tweeted out a picture, or someone found a screenshot from an ad for the Mummy, which
Uh huh.
let me send you the link to this. That way you can see what it is. It's another of Warner Bros. Monsters. Has an Easter egg in the movie. It is the creature from the Black Lagoon.
The weird choice.
Well, I mean, it's just another one of the monsters. You can see the hand in the jar.
Did you send me the?
Yeah, I sent you the link in Google Hangouts.
Oh, no, I don't. Okay.
Yeah. Um,
So this is in the movie The Mummy.
in
You
the movie
see
The
this?
Mummy. Yeah. I do
Wait,
think
so it's just an Easter egg, right?
it's just an Easter egg. It's not like the creature of the Black Lagoon isn't gonna show up and be like, "Hey, like, what's up, guys?"
Oh my god.
It's just gonna be like, what's gonna be there.
Maybe I'll watch this once it's out.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go out of my way to see this movie in theaters, but it does actually seem
So
it
this
seems
is
like it could be
a Universal vehicle.
yeah, Universal. Um, Now let's see. Our next thing is. Oh, I almost forgot. We have a new casting announcement. Probably the biggest casting announcement in a while. I would say maybe since the announcement of Tom Holland as Spider-Man.
Whoa.
I don't think we've had another. I don't think we've had another big casting announcement. We know who's playing Venom in
Oh, Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy playing Venom in the 2018 Venom movie, which has a weird. Now, the question I have is how well set up is Venom gonna be?
I don't know.
I think it's not hard to have Venom be easily set up, considering this movie takes place after Infinity War. because as we know, the symbiote comes from space. So if Spider-Man goes to space in Infinity War, then
Hmm.
it's easy to say that the symbiote came back with him. Well, that's an easy enough thing to do. Um, but I think they're not going to do Black Suit Spider-Man. I don't think to get into that point. So that's just a thing that people are going to be upset about that. Um, if you are upset about that, I think you should probably get your priorities in order. Um, but yeah, I think. What do you think about introducing Venom this quickly into the new Spider-Man universe?
Isn't it going to be a completely separate movie universe just
Yeah,
with Venom?
Sony is creating their own standalone Spider-Man universe, independent from the
I
Marvel
like it.
Cinematic Universe.
I think it's a good idea, and they just kind of do whatever the fuck they want. Especially with cool Venom could be cool.
Yeah, because like the thing is, people think this is a bad idea. I think of the Defenders on Netflix, where it's not its own independent universe. It kind of gets its own little bubble, where it's influenced by the movies, and then they have to go from there. I think this is going to be influenced by Spider-Man: Homecoming and by Infinity War and stuff like that. You'll get references to the MCU, but
Yeah.
it's not going to be dependent upon it, and it won't influence the Marvel Cinematic Universe as a whole. That said, I do still think that the next phase after they finish the Infinity Saga should be Carnage as the bad guy.
Mm,
That
that'd be
that would be that'd probably be the best because I don't think there's a villain you can do that could top Thanos in terms of power that they have access to. They don't have Annihilus. They don't have Kang the Conqueror. They don't have Galactus and Silver Surfer. So I think having the Avengers face off against Carnage and an army of symbiotes would be the best way to do it.
yeah.
And because you're already bringing the symbiote in with Venom, you can have um, Spider-Man: Homecoming 2 kind of touch on that a little.
Hmm.
So there is a way. I think that'd be the best thing for them. So I'm all first of all, I don't think there was any chance of me not being on board with this movie. I'm not. There's no movie that in concept is like, nah, I'm good. Like, well, in this genre, I'm not gonna turn my nose up at anything. Even like they're making a cyborg movie, I'm like, okay, I guess I'll begrudgingly see this. But which is still on track according to Ray Fisher. But I think this is gonna be pretty good if it's done properly because the director is someone big too. I forgot who the director is though.
Isn't the director of Creed?
No, he's directing Black Panther.
Ah, there.
Uh,
That was me being a little bit racist, I think.
the director of Venom is the director of Zombieland, Ruben
Cool.
Fleischer. So I think that's a good fit. Have you seen
Hmm.
Zombieland recently to be able to say if you think that'd be a good fit for
Not
Venom?
recent. I've seen it, but I don't know. It's a good movie.
He was also let me put him on just his director credits. He was in.
Yeah. He also
He's
directed GameStop.
directing the movie about Dr. Jekyll.
With Russell Crowe.
I guess.
Unless there someone else, another studio
Oh
is
no, no, no!
like,
This is a different studio making a movie.
so
The
that another
only living
studio.
descendant of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde makes a deal with the dark side. Chris Evans is playing a character called Tom Jackman.
So another studio is like, let's fuck over Universal.
Exactly. Well, these are all public domain things. It's like I don't think there's a copyright you can make on Frankenstein or on Dracula or on anything like that because all of these things existed before the existence of.
And the writer of this Jekyll movie is Stephen Moffat, so
That's how we
it's
know
gonna
it's gonna be good.
it's gonna be amazing.
He's also directed 5 episodes of Superstore, including the pilot.
That's a good show.
I do like Superstore. He also directed 2 episodes of the Santa Clarita Diet, and the pilot. He had a good year this year. He directed the pilot of American Housewife too.
I don't know what that is.
It's another TV show that it's got the guy from what's it called? The guy who went to jail on Veep.
Oh yeah, I know. Okay.
Who's also in Outsourced. He's in this show.
I think Diedrich something.
I think so. Let me open up. we're getting off on the IMDb tangent. He also directed
Diedrich
Gangster
Bader.
Squad.
No, yeah, I saw that too.
But yeah, I
Yeah,
think
Diedrich Bader is who we're talking about.
uh, yes, that's him. Yeah, but yeah, I think he could be a good fit for this. I think. Um, but he will, regardless of what we think of him, he will be directing. Uh, he will be directing Venom when it comes out. And this week's box office numbers are out. Alien Covenant takes the weekend with $36 million. I think that's below what they expected. Because if I remember correctly, I saw Alien Covenant expected to decimate Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, but it only beat Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 by $1 million, or under $1 million.
That's
Guardians of
very
the
close.
Galaxy brings in $35 million. New movie Everything debuted to 12 million. Snatched dropped down to from second place to fourth place with a $7.6 million weekend. And Diary of a Wimpy Kid and Long Haul, I think it's gonna make back its budget. Makes $7.2 million, debuting at number 5. Um, latest industry bomb, King Arthur: Legend of the Sword, is at number
Yeah.
6.
Not surprised.
At a $175 million budget, only made $6.8 million the second weekend. And The Fate of the Furious is currently at made another $3 million this weekend, keeping it in the top 10 at number 7. Oddities in this week's listings. Let's see if there's any weird ones. Hidden Figures charged at number 28, making $668,000. Logan made $180,000. Power Rangers.
That's crazy.
Power Rangers beat out Logan with $235,000. And Smurfs: The Lost Village, I forgot that even came out. Currently made hasn't made back its budget yet. It's at number 14. It made $520,000. It only made $43 million for a budget of $60
Yeah. I was reading some of the reviews for Alien Covenant, and I usually side with Variety. Like, I'm usually pretty close to what they agree with. But for this one, they gave it a 60 out of 100. And the reasoning behind it is that this is an alien movie for the audience that only roots for the monster, and then it got a 60. And what the fuck does that even mean? Like, are you sad that the characters died, so you gave it a bad rating?
Like every Alien movie, the characters.
Yeah, that's like a point of the Alien movies, isn't it?
Yeah,
like you can't
every
escape.
Movie like that. Like, if it's a monster movie, the humans tend not to fare well, except for one who manages to kill the monster. That's kind of a hallmark of the genre.
Yeah, that's actually we can talk about it when we get into it. But
yeah, I think that's all the news we have. It was a light news.
I have a little rant to tell Saturday Night Live to go fuck itself.
What do they do now? Oh, Vanessa Bayer and Bai Moynihan are leaving.
I actually would like both of them a lot. I think they're really funny.
Burnt Piece of Toast.
Hopefully they'll be able to do better things. Who's Burnt Piece of Toast?
Not No Love for Rick and Morty. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Oh, no, okay. But okay, so during the election, Alec Baldwin started doing the Trump thing, and then they did all those debates, and then right before the election ended, this is the first time told SNL to go fuck itself. They had that whole last debate where they stopped it, and they're like, we need to stop fighting with each other and stop making fun of each other so much and come together.
Yeah.
And the only reason they did that is because they were so positive that Hillary was going to win, and they're like, we're done with this. Now that we've exploited this for the entire fucking election cycle, now we're finished. We're gonna take the high ground, and they also had Trump on SNL, so that's what pisses me off the most is they still had Trump on SNL to promote himself.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you. So then Trump won. I think I've strained muscles in my eye for how much I rolled my eyes when whatever the fuck her name is, did the Hallelujah thing with the piano dressed as Hillary Clinton.
Oh, from
I was like,
Ghostbusters.
What the fuck? Yeah, fuck you, and fuck your go cry about it. Grow the fuck up. You're SNL. You have no Like you're just make people laugh. Like calm the fuck down.
Exactly. You're
So
actually
then they,
better off.
yeah,
Like,
and then they proceed to bring back Alec Baldwin and making fun of Trump for this entire thing. And it's like, okay, I guess you're not going to do what you said you're going to do and just continue exploiting this situation.
yeah,
The
exactly.
Sean Spicer, I do support the Sean Spicer Melissa McCarthy one because that's actually genuinely funny.
And that's normal. That's what happens every time. Like anytime something like this happens, that would be happening.
Yeah, I like that, and it's very like I think it's really creative. The Donald Trump stuff just got old really fast.
It did.
It was all just the same thing every week. So then, yesterday, yeah, for the season finale, they basically did the same thing again, where they're like, "Why are we like fighting so much?" It's just like, what the fuck are you talking
Well, no, because
about?
now they think they've won again because they think Trump's gonna be impeached.
Yeah, and they're like,
And
they're
SNL is basically
like,
like, we did this.
yeah, that's how they're like, and now what they did this time is that all of Trump's like fake staff,
Mm-hmm.
like saying hallelujah around the piano. It's like, oh my fucking god.
They really did that.
Yes,
That's
I
stupid.
fucking hate. Like, I hate that so much. It's so annoying, and you can just tell how like.
Someone writing was like, "This is comedy genius."
Yeah,
Like,
they're just so. The only reason SNL is still in the air is because it's been on so long. They're just like well, I guess we have nothing else to show it like 12:30 like at night.
yeah,
And there's so many ads. If you watch an episode of SNL, like half of it is commercials.
yeah. I remember that from when I haven't watched SNL in years. I just remember that from when I used to watch it.
Yeah, the only Tom Hanks is on it, and his David Pumpkin sketch is amazing. Like I love that sketch. That's really good. I recommend watching it if you haven't. But there's everything else about it. Just so annoying. Like you can be like I'm against the president. I like obviously.
I don't think anyone's like. Well, I mean, I think if you're listening
There are
to the
people
show,
for
you're
it.
probably pro Trump.
Yeah,
Because
especially
I
just
don't think
how
anyone.
hypocritical
There's a
everything.
very small subset of the population that superhero movies and Trump hits, and I don't think
That's
we
very
hit that.
true. The I don't know if you saw Fox News. They're like because Trump went to Saudi Arabia to suck the king's dick.
Yeah,
After he proclaimed Saudi Arabia caused 9/11,
yeah,
but now he just calls it like extreme terrorism instead of saying fundamentalist Islamists or Muslims. Yeah. So he went there, and Fox News is like, "Wow, look, he's like promoting us in the Middle East. Like, look how good of a job he's doing in Saudi Arabia." And then someone made a good point. It's like, imagine if Obama went to Saudi Arabia and like shook hands with the king of Saudi Arabia. Like, what would Fox News say then?
Dare
Yeah, Fox News would be like, he's like funding terrorism in Saudi Arabia.
Exactly.
Like Fox News, some of them is so fucking annoying. I also really enjoyed, and I'm happy about all the people that made fun of Roger Ailes dying, like the day of his death. Like that was great. That's what the internet's about.
Yeah.
One of the tweets I favorited. It was like, this is a statement from Roger Ailes' wife, like how he died, and it's like he got up in the morning, and one of his balls fell out of his underwear, and he accidentally stepped on it, and then like fell out, and then he like did all this shit, and he like fell out the window and died.
Yeah, I think next week we're gonna talk about the upcoming TV slate for 20.
Yeah,
20
House of Cards coming back, coming
Cards.
soon.
Yeah.
9 days.
Yes.
I have a correction. Last week I talked about I didn't understand season 3 why Claire threw up. She actually explicitly explains that later on in the series. So it's because she had to ask him for help, basically.
Oh, okay.
I also season 3 is not the greatest season in the House
No,
of Cards saga, but it's still there's some parts of it that are so good. Like his brutality that doesn't really work at all in this season. Like whenever he goes off on someone, it actually backfires on him. So it's like now that he has absolute power, he can't actually wield it.
Right.
Because he goes off on Remy, and then Remy leaves. He goes off on Jackie Sharp, and that's when she betrays him. He goes off on Claire at the end. That scene is so good because Claire like is freaking out that she can't really do anything by herself, and she needs him for everything. And then he's like, "Here's the brutal fucking truth. Like, you are nothing without me." Like, and if we lose, then we'll just be has-beens. But you'll always be nothing, like without me by your side or something. And then she leaves. That's a really good season 3. Does a good season finale where she's just like, "I'm leaving you," and she just walks out, and then it just ends. That's pretty good. The Doug Stamper storyline or like story arc is really good that whole season. Like just paying attention to him, where he comes out, he like goes back to drinking.
Right. Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Then the whole thing with Rachel. And then the entire season, you have no idea where Rachel is until the very last episode. She comes back again. I also watch because I have the Blu-rays because I'm cool. There's special features, and some of it is like there's basically about the last episode in New Mexico with the Doug hunting her and killing her eventually. And the girl that plays Rachel Brosnan, I think her name is. She talks about how like the very first episode where she's with Peter Russo, her character has no name. Her character is just Call Girl, and then she was only going to be in one episode, and then they like had an idea that they decided to develop her, and then she ended up being in the show for 3 seasons, and like had a rich character. But I think part of why the show is so cool because it's like her and then her like lesbian lover, like both get fucked over by Frank Underwood without ever actually meeting him. Just cool
I
stuff
just
like
have to
that.
rewatch that show. I keep intending to. I just never.
It's so good. It's only 13 episodes a season too, so it's easy to get through.
Yeah.
And there's so much like little things. Oh, that show is so good.
There is one thing I want to address before we move on to Alien Covenant. The
Or
worst
just Alien.
TV show. Alien. The worst TV show. To be picked up to a full series will be debuting in the fall. And this is the only TV show we're going to be talking about today. They're doing a prequel to a long-running TV show.
The Big Bang Theory prequel?
Yeah, they're doing a prequel about young Sheldon. It's a comedy, which goes against everything they've ever established with the character. Like, nothing about how they described his life on the show indicates comedy.
It's just like him sitting alone reading.
Like,
is what they...
if I remember correctly, and
I
correct me if I'm wrong, like wasn't his like father an alcoholic, abusive father, and his mother?
I don't know if they supposedly said abusive, but I think alcoholic or like just not around or like left him.
I do remember. I remember like it was like season like 2 or something back when I still watched the show. There was the episode where like Leonard's trying to learn how to like watch football, and he's learning from Sheldon because Sheldon's dad used to make him watch it with him. And he every time he goes to teach him, he goes, "All right, Poindexter, we're gonna learn about football." And it's like, "Oh, I thought that was necessary. That's how my dad introduced every lesson for football to me." And it's like,
and then his mom was trying to like beat religion into him.
Exactly, yeah. Like nothing about this indicates a comedy.
But he'll say Bazinga.
Like, I did see one funny joke. It's like, I don't understand. Like, are we just gonna have 3 seasons of him not even being called Sheldon yet? And like get it because Better Call Saul.
Oh, haha.
So I think other than that, the comedy lineup on CBS is
the ratings, Big Bang Theory's ratings recently were the lowest they've ever been in the history of the show.
Well, yeah, because the show lost its way, like all Chuck Lorre shows do after a certain point. Like they get to a point where it's on the air long enough, and they make you think you're watching something deeper than you actually are. They switch the cast up. Or they'll add to the cast. That's really what they end up doing. They add to the cast, where the cast always starts out small. If you, I think How I Met Your Mother is the only one that didn't have this problem, where it was a very small cast to start out, and then it stayed with the same 5 until the end.
Yeah.
But like Big Bang Theory, it was just the 4 male leads and then Penny. Then they added in Bernadette. Then they added in Amy, and then they added in the baby. They added in the comic book store owner as a series regular. The cast gets too big, and then it's like Mike and Molly added in the parents as series regulars, both sets of parents as series regulars. They added in what's it called? The sister, the uncle, and a bunch of other characters. They flat out switched leads in 2.5 Men. Even Roseanne wasn't immune from it because the cast of Roseanne skyrocketed.
With Johnny Galecki.
Right. Once Oh yeah. Once once he was on the show, there was a lot. The cast did grow. Like if you watch the opening from the later seasons, and you see how big the principal cast is, it's like this is ridiculous. Like I think Moms is getting to that point too, but it started out with a bigger cast than usual.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, what's his name? The guy who plays Sheldon narrates the whole show too.
for Young Sheldon or
Yeah,
for Big Bang Theory. Oh, okay.
for young Sheldon.
That sounds awful. Um, Thursday Night Football comes back on September 28th, so get fucking pumped.
Oh, the guy that plays Bill Ponderosa on Always Sunny in Philadelphia plays Sheldon's dad.
I think he was already on Big Bang Theory. That guy.
Oh, but he's in the Ponderosa McPoyle wedding massacre. He puts bath salts in the drinks, and then one of the McPoyle brothers gets their eye eaten because everyone turns into zombies.
Nice. I'm assuming that's Lance Barber.
Maybe whoever the dad is.
No, I mean the name of the actors.
Oh, yeah, I guess if that's who's playing the dad.
Um, yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. He was on Blackish. He was. Yeah. Yeah, he was. He was in. He's one of those people who makes the rounds in those shows. Because he was in.
He's a recurring character on Always Sunny. He comes back a lot.
He was in How I Met Your Mother. He was in Big Bang Theory previously.
He's one of the people that had like a stable life, and they ruined his life, and he just comes back every once in a while because he had like a wife and a family, and then Dee had sex with him, and then he like gave her a car, but he usually only can have sex with prostitutes, so his like wife tried to pay her off as a prostitute, and then now he just does hard drugs, and that's like Frank is his sponsor for like Alcoholics and Drugs Anonymous, and he's like, Frank, I really want to do drugs. Like, what should I do? And Frank's just like, just do them. Like, you're allowed to. Like, why not? And he's like, yeah, but I shouldn't. He's like, it's a free country. Like, just feel good. Just do whatever you want.
Oh, he was also in Joey, another fantastic spin-off of a great TV show. Maybe he's just like poisoned for these things in August. Oh, he was also. Oh, speaking of which, another weird connection to a previous thing we talked about. He was in Gangster Squad.
Ah,
which was directed by the guy who directs Venom. And on that note, we're probably not going to get a better segue into Alien. So,
I was about to say that I do have a kind of a good segue into Alien.
Go ahead.
It's with the weird movie TV connections.
Sure.
One of the actors in Alien, he's in Big Love.
Oh yeah, Bill Paxton.
No, that's
Aliens.
The guy with the Hawaiian shirt in Alien that dies. Like pretty early on, the second guy that dies. He's the cult leader in Big Love. That's Bill Paxton's dad.
Oh.
Everything eventually will connect back to Big Love.
That could be a podcast. Everything connects back.
It basically does. But yeah, Alien is such a good movie. It's one of my favorite horror movies. Like the I guess saga or series is one of my favorite movie series.
Mm-hmm.
I really love like in sci-fi movies when they like flip a lot of switches and like do a lot of button pressing stuff. Like that's what, like I jerk off to that shit in sci-fi movies. Like the part when she's setting the ship to self-destruct. That part's fucking awesome. Like she has to twist in a bunch of stuff and like flip all these switches.
That came out recently.
Wait, your mic's all fuck it up. It's doing that thing where it sounds like electronic screeching whenever you talk.
I don't think it's happening on my thing. I think it's just happening in Google Hangouts for some reason.
There it goes. Now it's better.
Fixed?
Alright. Yeah, so Alien is like... It reminds me a lot of 2001: A Space Odyssey with like long shots and there's a lot of silence in this movie, which I think is refreshing.
But wasn't the tagline in space no one can hear you scream?
Yeah, because that's part of the movie. It's just like they're just isolated.
Mm-hmm.
The special effects in this movie, I think, hold up a lot too because
Yeah,
they're
they do.
all practical. The alien itself is amazing. Like
Yeah, the xenomorph is one of
the
the most recognizable things about
yeah,
it.
I
Including
like all
monsters.
there's like all this mythology stuff. Like when I go down to the planet with the face huggers,
Mm-hmm.
like there's so much shit in that scene, and it's just like we don't. That's part of why Prometheus is so good. It kind of explains a lot when I go to the ship,
Yeah, he has the
and like
unpopular opinion that Prometheus is a good movie.
it is. It's definitely at least a 7.
Okay, let's here. You keep talking.
The
Let's find
review,
Prometheus.
the reviews aren't that bad. Also, I don't always mean people are like Ridley Scott ruined Alien, like with because Alien Resurrection is definitely worse than Prometheus and probably Alien Covenant.
Yeah. Let me see.
And I also have a theory. I'm like 90% positive the cat and the xenomorph were working together to kill all the people
Why?
because the cat like is around the alien a bunch of times, but the alien never kills the cat. And then there's like the cat is the reason that the second guy dies because it jumps out and makes that guy follow him, makes the guy follow the cat into where the alien is. Then
Prometheus has about the same rating as Alien Covenant.
see,
Prometheus was a 72. Alien Covenant is a 70.
that's 72 is not that bad.
The average rating is 6.9 for Prometheus, while Alien Covenant is at 6.4.
That's right. Yeah, I would put Prometheus 6.97. That's fine. It's pretty good. There's just some dumb things like there's this part where they map out the entire spaceship so they can like walk around it, but then the guy that creates the map gets lost. Like that part's dumb, and I'm like, you have a map, like what? And then they're like looking at where he is, and they're like, he has a fucking map. Like, I don't know, but it's cool stuff in it. But Alien, like just, but it is the part that annoys me about Alien is that people are like, this is a revolutionary movie because you have a female like protagonist that like beats the alien, but it's not. It's a horror movie, and this is a very common trope in horror movies where you have the last female that's the survivor that gets out of the situation.
I think it's just because it is a science fiction movie.
That's why I think it confuses people. But like, if you look at Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it's the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
but that's why Aliens is more like revolutionary because it's that Aliens is a straight up action movie.
Yeah.
But then in that situation, you do have the female character leading the team and like doing cool shit.
Right, but that was 1986. What science fiction came out before that?
Oh, also, this movie came out the same year as Caligula.
That is true.
So, great year for movies.
I don't know why I laughed at that, because Caligula wasn't that bad.
I think these two movies define who we are
in the
as people. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, it's just amazing that like one movie that came out like in 1979 is still like people still watch it today, and like it still holds up. It's very impressive. This was Ridley Scott's breakout movie.
It's considered to be one of the greatest science fiction movies of the time.
Definitely, like I really like the future it sets up too, where it's just like these are just people that work, like they're blue collar people in space.
Yeah,
like that's why like everything's dirty. There's like all the little details, like
that's racist.
That the room that the water room is like the air conditioner room, so there's all that condensation, and that's why it's all like water dripping down.
Mm-hmm. Also, if you look at if you search greatest science fiction movies, guess
probably like 2001:
5.
A Space Odyssey. 2001: A Space
in
Odyssey.
order the top 5.
2001: A Space Odyssey number 1. Okay, well, it's not a real list then. What list is this from?
This is when you search on Google greatest science fiction movies of all time. They list it out for you.
Is it AFI?
No.
Okay, well, I only look at AFI.
You know what number 1 is?
What's number 1? Is it Star Wars?
No, that's number 4. Blade Runner is number 1.
Oh, okay, I guess that makes sense.
Then 2001: A Space Odyssey, then Alien, then Star Wars, then The Matrix.
Matrix meh.
The original Matrix, not the entire series, just the Matrix.
I don't know. I don't even think. I think there's probably a better science fiction movie than The Matrix.
Well, then they also have on the list E.T. is number 7. Number 6 is The Day the Earth Stood Still. Metropolis, Terminator 2, and Terminator are both there. Inception is science fiction. Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Wall-E
Yeah.
counts as science fiction. The Fifth Element, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Somehow Empire Strikes Back's on like page 7, and so is Aliens. Orange, Donnie Darko, Moon.
Yeah, the AFI's top 4, because I can't see the top 5, are 2001: A Space Odyssey, Star Wars, E.T., then Clockwork Orange.
Mad Max 2, also considered science fiction.
I think that.
Back to the Future. There are a lot of really good science fiction movies I'm realizing now. Like you forget about a lot of them. Like somehow The Force Awakens is in this list too, which is ridiculous. Because if you're gonna put The Force Awakens on the list, you gotta put it like tied for number 4 because we've seen this movie before because it's Star Wars.
Your mic's all fucky again. It now sounds like you're going through a voice scrambler.
Oh, I am.
Yeah.
I don't know what keeps causing this.
Now it's not.
There we go. Fixed.
Now it's back. Yeah.
I don't know what keeps causing that. It's weird.
Yeah, that was a different noise that time.
Because I have, I know it's not through Spreaker that's having the issue. It's just in Google Hangouts. Because I have it in my ear. I can hear my own voice in my ear.
So could I.
My headphones. Okay, not like that. With my headphones. Yes, I'm not deaf. I can hear my own voice too. Like, but to make sure the quality is good on that end. We're getting way off topic again. So Alien, I don't know. How would you rate this? I don't think we have anything else to really address with this. I mean, we addressed the fact that it is the greatest science fiction movie of all time, and it does hold. Quite honestly, we review these older movies, and it's like if you haven't seen it yet, I would recommend you see it before you see Covenant.
And Prometheus. It's there's a lot of cool stuff you'll notice in Prometheus if you watch Alien first.
That's the thing with all prequels, though. You shouldn't watch prequels in chronological order.
Yeah.
You should watch them in release order. But yeah, so how would you rate this movie?
I would give it a 10. I love this movie. Also, it made me jump. There's very few movies that can ever, like, scare me, or, like, even jump scares usually don't scare me. But this one, when the captain is going through the air ducts, and then it jumps out of them, that one got me.
Which one was the trailer that got... There was one trailer that got both of us when we saw it in theaters.
I think it was the... it was a sequel to a really good horror movie. Starts with a C.
Conjuring.
Conjuring 2. That one got both of us. That was a good one.
IGN has Alien as number 4 in the top of top science fiction movies of all time. They have number 1 is Blade Runner, number 2 as 2001: A Space Odyssey, number 3
I've seen to watch Blade Runner. I feel ashamed that I've not watched Blade Runner.
Yeah, me too. Number 3 is Star Wars, number 4 is Alien, and number 5 is Empire Strikes Back. Again, I would have swapped Empire Strikes Back and not put Star Wars in the top 5, I don't think.
Yeah,
why does Star Wars?
I also think Star Wars is much what you were talking about is more of a fantasy film than sci-fi.
Yeah, like but the thing is, I think if they ever re-release again Episode 4, I think they should include that deleted scene.
The one you showed me that one time.
The one that they debuted at Star Wars Celebration from the archive footage, where it's a slightly different adaptation of the introduction to like the boardroom scene. Where Darth Trump comes in and chokes the guy, where he refers to Vader as the Dark Lord of the Sith, because it would kind of indicate to all the people who were like they got really off the rails in the prequels that this was always what the plan was.
Yes, yeah,
like,
definitely.
It would make so many people change their opinion on the prequels. I think, like, okay, it wouldn't make them think they're better movies. But
it just makes more sense.
Right, it's less outlandish. And like the whole thing with the midichlorian, like the midichlorians, I don't think there's any amount of explanation that would people be okay with. Like I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
I don't understand why some people are against it.
Oh, I also really like an alien. Ash is a robot. I think that was a very good how they handled that.
hmm,
Did you know he was a robot before they
no,
like knocked his head off?
no,
That if you rewatch it, they do a good job of making him seem weird
yeah,
because there's like certain scenes where he won't react like everyone else is reacting, or he like they treat him strange because no one really likes him,
hmm.
and then he like rips out a chunk of Sigourney Weaver's hair. That part's cool. And then milk spews from him like a geyser.
Also, Ridley Scott directed 2 of the top 5 according to IGN.
Yeah, because he did Blade Runner.
He did Blade Runner as well.
He also directed Gladiator,
Oh yeah.
and he also directed American Gangster.
I think if you're ever going to talk about who the greatest directors of all time are, you do have to include Ridley Scott in the conversation.
Yeah, he's made a lot of movies. Some of them not as great as others, but
Well, no, but everyone's got that. Like,
not Stanley Kubrick.
well, no, Kubrick doesn't. Like,
But
even
Kubrick's never won an Oscar, so
Scorsese has his
Scorsese,
he has his clunkers too. Like,
The Aviator.
The Aviator's not that bad. I don't
Yes, it
understand
is.
why you
I
hate
don't
The
understand
Aviator.
why you like The
I don't
Aviator.
understand why you hate The Aviator so much.
No one likes The Aviator. It's like 4 hours long and nothing happens.
It's not a bad movie. It's a character study. I don't
It's
understand.
not even, and there's not even a Rolling Stones montage.
Okay.
What am I supposed to do with that?
Um, but yeah, I think we will eventually talk about other great directors at some point. But we do have our upcoming slate to talk about. We have Curse of the Black Pearl,
Cool.
and A Clockwork Orange rounding out the year.
Yeah.
Again, as we said, Curse of the Black Pearl is definitely on Netflix. Clockwork Orange, I think, is.
I own it, so it's okay.
Oh yeah, that's not. This is more for the listener than for you. I know you own A Clockwork Orange.
Oh, also, if you want to, this is like kind of separate, but if you want to watch a very good stand-up special, Norm Macdonald's new stand-up special is on Netflix. It's called Hitler's Dog, and it's very good.
I want to watch more stand-up specials. I haven't watched any since Eddie Izzard, I think, was the last one I watched.
That part, Netflix is doing a really good job with that. They have a lot. I also recommend Maria Bamford's new special called Old Baby.
Hmm.
It's kind of absurdist because it starts off with her doing her special to herself in the mirror, and it grows to like doing it with her like husband, then like a group of friends, then like people in like a park, and it just keeps growing until she's like at a stadium kind of
That's weird.
or a theater. It's funny, but Norm Macdonald's like one of the jokes is like I have a real problem with the abbreviation ID because I stands for I and D stands for identification. And then he talks about like Abraham Lincoln. Like he's like he tried to make score a thing, and then you like Mary Todd is like, why don't you just say 87 years? He's like, why don't you just shut the fuck up? I'm the president. And then he talks about George Washington, like the cherry tree story. He's like, imagine if you like had a kid and you come home and you're like, what the fuck? Like someone chopped down our tree. And you go inside and your kid is like, I chopped down the tree and I can't lie. And you're just like, I have a problem with the first thing you said, but like I'm kind of scared you're scaring the fuck out of me with the second thing you said. Like what the fuck does that mean?
If you're going to watch, if you're looking to watch, what's it called? Oh, I Am Big Bird, that really good documentary about the guy who played Big Bird for all those years, is now on Amazon Prime. So if you do have an Amazon Prime membership, do
Also,
that.
Amy Schumer's new stand-up special. It is the greatest piece of stand-up that's ever been created. No, I'm kidding. I haven't watched it. But it is kind of cool because it was that and Adam Sandler's new movie are the catalyst for Netflix changing its rating system and not having any real rating system anymore.
Yeah, now it recommends things to you.
And it literally recommends fucking everything.
Yeah.
Like, if I go to everything, it says, like, 98% like match. And I'm like, cool.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, they don't take into consideration what you're watching anymore. It's just what they think what they want you to watch.
And the recommendations make no sense. Like, it was like Once Upon a Time, I think, that show.
Uh-huh.
It recommended that for me because I watch Australia's Most Deadly Sea Creatures.
Mythical creatures, sea
Except they're not
creatures.
mythical because they're
Okay.
real.
Um,
Like, what the fuck is going on in that? Like,
then after A Clockwork Orange, we have Logan, which is available on digital HD now. Tuesday, I think, comes out on digital HD. No, it comes out on physical Tuesday. So if you want
cool.
to pick up the physical copy of it, I think just to mix it up, I think we should talk about the noir version as
I
opposed to the full color version.
Isn't it just
Um,
in black and white?
it's in black and white, yeah. Um, Then we have the original Mummy, which, as I said last, you pick up a collection of all of the Mummy movies on Blu-ray for $20 at Walmart, or because of the release of the new Mummy movie, they have all of them individually on DVD for $5.
Uh huh.
And then we have Youngblood Hawk, which is our first older movie we're going to be doing on
Oh yeah, I forgot
the
about
next
that.
week. That one, as I said, if you it's expensive to buy on DVD, and to find it, so you're better off um, going to Amazon, searching the name of the movie, then hitting show results for go to movies and TV, because it doesn't come up. Just get it on Amazon Video for $10, or find some other way to watch it.
Yeah.
So it's so old, it's very hard to find it. Yeah. Or you can pay $20 for the DVD. Or you can pay $61 from an independent vendor for So that's the problem with Amazon. There's too many of that. I think that's it. We will be doing well. If you watch the website, you will see in the next few days I will have an opinion piece going up about why the video game industry needs a crash. This Friday I will be having a review of Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales going up as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a spoilers ahead for at some point Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Definitely Wonder Woman coming soon as well, which is 2 weeks out. 3 weeks out. Sorry, for Wonder Woman, because you forget May has 5 weeks for some reason every year. Oh no, it's only 2 weeks out. It's not this week, it's the next week. So yeah, so we do have quite the slate. And we will be doing E3 coverage at some point. We'll be talking about what's being revealed by the major studios, and then I guess EA and Ubisoft, Activision too.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know there's still people pissed off at? Can we address that if you listen to a video game reviewer, you deserve to have your money taken? Because to this day, reviewers are complaining about the fact that Bethesda is not giving review copies out anymore.
I guess cry about it.
Yeah, and then like IGN gave Prey a 4.5 for PC,
Uh huh.
and there was like a revolt over that. I think they changed it since then. Let me see if I can find it. But they gave it a 4.5 because the game crashed at the end. And he lost, and it wiped all his progress.
Cool.
So the game got, so he gave it a 4.5. Like the game crashed and I lost everything, so I gave it a 4.5. Since then, they changed it to an 8. I guess someone at Bethesda was like, "Look, buddy, like you can't do this shit." Like, so they changed it back. Yeah, they had to make the site Prey review number 2. Because someone fucked up. You can't be doing that. And the thing is, I said this before when I put up the blog on the website. I don't understand how you can take a review seriously when there are ads for the thing they're reviewing all over it.
Yeah.
Like, how am I going to take a review for Guardians of the Galaxy seriously when there's a giant advertisement, buy tickets for Guardians of the Galaxy, off to the left of the review? Like, you obviously have a dog in the fight because you're getting money from them buying tickets. So why wouldn't you give it a great review and then include a link, buy tickets here at the bottom? So that's the problem. And I think if you get tricked by that, you deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
I did not get tricked by that. I got tricked by a lack of reviews, which I have an update to last week's story. One last thing. Okay, I guess he I guess he vanished. But I do have an update.
Okay.
There you
I'm
are.
back, I think.
Yeah,
That was
I don't
weird.
know what happened.
That all this went black.
Yeah, that happened. That I saw your screen went black too. Like, my stuff's still working. I don't know how he did. I do have an update to last week's story. If you remember last week, we did talk about how GameStop is the worst company on the planet.
Yes.
And we in the past I have also talked about how when I got my premium membership at GameStop, they gave me the free copy of Game Informer for a year.
Mm-hmm.
Game Informer is GameStop's magazine.
Yes, my brother gets it.
Right. So they give it to you if you buy the silver membership, and they did not review Deformers
Smart.
in the magazine. If you look around in the actual reviews, there's nothing there. If you go to the reviews you may have missed, the archive, there's no coverage of Deformers. It's almost as if the game didn't exist. If your own magazine, and they have reviews for it going back to December, because they still have Infinite Warfare, which by the way got a 9 somehow. They have Infinite Warfare on their list, and they have Civilization 6 on their list. But they never reviewed a game created by GameStop. So you know what? That should be an indicator that they are up to something shady. And on that note, we will be back next week with Pirates of the Caribbean, Personal Black Pearl.
Peace.